Welcome to session 3 of module 1 of Power Electronics and Instrumentation subject with subject code 18EC36, and we were discussing with the first module called Introduction to Power Electronics and Thyristors. In the first session we discussed about the basic power semiconductor devices like diodes, transistors and the thyristors. And in the second session, we discussed about different types of power semiconductor converters and its applications. Different types of applications or the different domains where we can use this power electronics or a power semiconductor kind of devices. And in third session, that is in today's session, we will discuss about the continuation of this first module, and these are the contents of this session 3. They are thyristors, static anode characteristics, gate characteristics of the SCR, and how to turn on and turn off mechanisms. And first of all, coming to the static anode characteristics of SCR, we will discuss about the structure of this SCR. And in the previous session itself, we discussed about a SCR, a brief introduction. It's a type of thyristors. It's a silicon controlled rectifier, and this is the symbolic representation of a SCR. It consists of three terminals: anode, cathode and a gate terminal. The first diagram represents the symbol, and the next one is a simplified structure of a SCR. The second diagram, it gives the structure of SCR. It's a formation of 4 NPN materials and forming three junctions called J1, J2, J3. By forming P and N, we are obtaining junction 1, and from N and P we are getting J2, and from P and N we are getting J3. These are the three junctions which are formed by a NPN material, and here from the P we have taken the anode terminal, and from the P between junction J2 and J3 we have taken the gate and the cathode. Anode, cathode and the gate, these are the terminals. And the next one gives the detailed structure of the SCR, how this PN have been formed with a duration of, with a micrometer, 10 micrometer, and the second P is used from 30 to 100 micrometer. Similarly, the duration of the micrometer and the formation of these three junctions with three terminals, and here at the N plus we have taken the gate, and at the P plus we have considered the anode terminal, and between the mid of this P we have considered the gate terminal. This is the structure about this SCR. It's a silicon controlled rectifier. And coming to the working principle of this SCR, it's mainly work depending on the polarity of the applied voltage. We need to apply some voltage in order to enable, in order to work, in order to switch on this thyristor, that is SCR, and we have to given the gate pulse to the SCR. If we apply the gate pulse, or by applying the voltage to the polarity of this SCR, it will operate in three different modes. Those modes are reverse blocking mode, forward blocking mode, and third one called as a forward conduction mode. Reverse blocking mode. In this mode, we are going to apply the voltage to the polarity. That is, for the cathode, we will provide the positive polarity, and the negative terminal will be connected to the anode, and the gate will be kept open. This mode is the working of SCR at this mode called as a reverse blocking mode. In the second mode called as a forward blocking mode, in this mode we are going to apply the polarity, that is positive polarity to the anode and negative polarity to the cathode, and gate is kept open. So the working under this condition, under the polarity of this particular voltage, that is positive to anode, negative to cathode. So such mode is nothing but a forward blocking mode, and the third mode called as the forward conduction mode. Coming to the first mode, that is reverse blocking region. As I told, we are going to apply the positive voltage is applied to the cathode and negative voltage to the anode, and the gate is kept open. During this condition, during this mode of operation, the junction J1 and J3 will be reverse biased and the junction J2 will be forward biased. Due to this J1, J3 or reverse bias, there will be no current flowing through the SCR. Even though there will be a very small leakage current which is due to the drift charge carries in the forward bias junction of J2. Due to this junction, forward bias junction of J2 causes some drift charge carriers, but this is not enough to turn on the SCR. So this figure gives the information about the reverse blocking region where the anode is provided with a negative voltage and cathode is provided with a positive voltage and gate is kept open. No voltage is applied to this gate terminal, and these are the junction J1, J2, J3. Due to this polarity of voltage, here the J1 and J3 will enter into the reverse bias condition. Only J2 will be acting at the forward bias condition, and this J2 will going to cause the very small leakage current. This is due to the discharge carriers under the forward bias condition of junction J2. So this is not enough to turn on the SCR. So this will be in a reverse blocking mode. And the second mode called as a forward blocking region, where the anode is provided with the positive terminal and cathode is provided with the negative terminal, and once again gate kept open. This mode is called as a forward blocking mode, and here once again the junction J1 and J3 will be operating at the forward bias and J2 will be operating at the reverse bias. Due to this, there will be a small current flow from anode to cathode. Due to this positive polarity across the anode, there will be a small current will flow from in this direction from positive terminal to anode, anode to cathode. There will be a small current will flow from anode to cathode. Such current is referred as a forward leakage current. That current is referred as forward leakage current. And coming to the third mode called as a forward conduction region, where it's a type of applying the gate in order to switch on the transistor. By applying the gate signal, we are going to enter into the, we will try to conduct this in the forward condition region of the SCR. So such mode is referred as a forward conduction mode of SCR, where the thyristor in reverse biased can be driven to the forward condition state. For the forward conduction state, we can use two techniques. Those techniques are when VAK is greater than VBO, where VAK is the voltage between the anode and the cathode. This is the voltage between the anode and the cathode. If this is greater than the breakover voltage, where VBO stands for breakover voltage. So if it is greater than VBO, then it will enter into the forward conduction region. That is one condition or one technique. And the second technique is when the gate drive is applied, we can apply some amount of gate voltage. It acts as a gate drive. So in this way, we can enter into the forward conduction region. Coming to the first condition or the first technique called as VAK is greater than VBO, where VAK, as we discussed, it's the voltage between the anode and the cathode. If it is greater than, it should be greater than the breakover voltage VBO. And this condition, the thyristor is turned on even if the gate drive is not applied. If we are not at all applied, even though it has been entered into the forward condition, or this is under a, you can turn on the SCR. In forward conduction mode, the current flows from anode to cathode. In forward conduction mode, the current will flow from anode to cathode heavily, and there will be a voltage drop is very small. This will on the state voltage drop. So as a result of it, the current through the load will be equal to IAK. Current denoted between the anode and the cathode is IAK. It's V by L, V by load. VAK divided by the load whatever we connected. And coming to the one more technique called as gate drive is applied. This is the gate drive, that is the voltage applied at the gate. This is the second way of driving the thyristor from forward blocking mode to the forward conduction mode. From blocking to a conduction mode, this is the second technique called providing a gate drive. Here the positive Gate to cathode signal is applied to the thyristor. This is the gate, positive gate applied at the thyristor. Between the gate and the cathode, it's a positive and the negative. Here we are providing a gate to cathode signal, that a positive voltage. As a result of it, there will be current flows from gate to cathode. In this direction, the current will flow from gate to cathode. This will get added with the forward leakage current. This will going to drive the thyristor to the conduction mode. Once again, here the current through this load is IAK is equal to the current which is through flow from anode to cathode, that is denoted with IAK, is equal to VAK divided by load. And this gives the information about the different modes of an SCR when it is forward and reverse bias. We discussed about a reverse blocking mode, and the second one is a reverse blocking mode and the forward conduction mode, and one more is the forward blocking region. And this gives the entire information. This characteristic curve gives the entire information about this is by applying a forward voltage and the forward current, and the next one is reverse voltage and the reverse current. It's a VI characteristics of a SCR. This is gate triggered on. This will be the value when the gate is under, when the SCR is under conduction. And next, this is the off state forward voltage blocking. This will be under the blocking, forward blocking mode. And once it reaches the new voltage, then automatically, if it is greater than the voltage between the anode and the cathode is greater than the breakover voltage, then automatically it will enter into the on state. So this indicates the holding current and the on state once it reaches the above the knee value or the built-in voltage. Similarly, this indicates the reverse voltage blocking, that is the reverse blocking mode when it is operating under the condition of when cathode is provided with the positive and anode is provided with the negative and gate is kept open. At the time, the SCR will be operating at the reverse blocking mode. So this is denoted with a reverse voltage block or a reverse breakdown voltage. So up to this voltage is referred as reverse voltage blocking, and above this, greater than this, it is denoted with a reverse breakdown voltage. And once again, the diagram or graph which indicates the different regions. This is the forward blocking region, this indicates, and the second one is this line indicates this voltage, the increasing voltage indicates due to the gate pulse applied, and this dotted line indicates the forward breakover with a condition of VAK greater than VBO, and once it crosses that particular value, then it will enter after applying the gate and it enters into the forward conduction region. And this is the first region where cathode is provided with positive and anode is provided with negative. So it operates at the reverse blocking region. The first block, reverse blocking region, due to the small leakage current due to the J2 junction, and this is junction J1 and J2 will be operating at the forward condition by applying a positive to the anode and negative to the cathode. And here we need to discuss about two different terms called latching current and the holding current. Let us discuss about the latching current and the holding current. Coming to the first definition called latching current. Latching current is the minimum forward current that flows through the thyristor to kept it open, kept it on state at the time of triggering. While triggering, in order to kept it on under the enable condition, it's the current which is required, the minimum forward current which is required is referred as a latching current. Coming to the latching current explanation, if we assume the thyristor is under the forward blocking mode, if we turn on the device by applying the gate drive, then it will move to the conduction state or the on state. And to remain in the on state, the condition is IAK should be greater than the load current. IAK is the current between the anode and the cathode terminal should be greater than the load current. If we maintain, suppose if the IAK is lesser than the IL, then device goes to forward blocking state as soon as the gate is removed. Once we remove the gate, after applying the gate drive, if we remove that, then automatically it will enter into the forward blocking state when the current at the anode and the cathode is lesser than the IL. So this minimum forward current which is required to turn on to or maintain this on state at the time of triggering called as the latching current. And coming to the one more definition called as holding current. Here in the previous diagram we can observe this is the holding current, which is the holding current, and the above one is the latching current. So this latching current is the minimum current which is required, that is the current between the anode and the cathode which is required to maintain this SCR still at the on state. The next one is the holding current. Holding current is when IAK falls below the holding current. When IAK is lesser than the holding, then thyristor will go to the forward blocking state. If you assume that it is in a forward conduction mode, then holding current is the minimum forward current that flows through the thyristor to keep it in the forward conduction mode. In order to maintain this at the forward conduction mode, we need a minimum of forward current. Such current is nothing but a holding current. And this session gives the information about the SCR characteristics and how to turn on and what are the different modes where the SCR will work. In next session, we will discuss about the gate characteristics and how to turn on and turn off with the mechanisms of SCR. Thank you.